What's good, people? It's your boy NLG. Welcome back to the channel. You know what it is. Make sure to smash the like and the sub to be a part of the NLG fam. The title of this video is I need this Ornstein tweet to be true, irrespective of Madueke. I watched that Tottenham performance today, and you know what? The game finished, and I was like, you know what? I'm annoyed with some of the things here, but also pre-season. An hour, 2-3 hours after that, I'm actually still seething. I'm actually still angry. Why? Because nothing has changed about the way we've played. We've bought new signings, but the blueprint of how this team play has not changed. And yet again, it's made it all too easy to play against Arsenal in these fixtures. We brought Norgard into the team, brought Zubimendi into the team. We've even got Joker as a striker. But it's this tweet from Ornstein some months ago. Arsenal put Eze high among options to bolster attack. Unclear if needs exit, but serious candidate plus separate to striker and winger. Look, we've got the striker. We've got Jokeres in the door. And he came on today for about 10 minutes. We have Noni Madueke, who, again, I know he has good stats for take-ons, the best stats for take-ons in the Prem or whatever it was. But I think we need two players that can really stretch and unlock defenses, because we don't know what to do against teams who sit in. And too many times last season when we came up against teams that score early, the next thing they're going to do is sit in, and we have no way to answer that. We have zero clue. Today, silly goal conceded. How often did we see that last season? Silly goals conceded, and then the team shut up shop. You have Odegaard trying to run rings around people. Rice can't do any of his blazing runs. Saka and Martinelli shut out of the game today by Porro and Jed Spence. And it leaves no inspiration. You then bring Jokeres on and nothing about the tactics change. Jokeres is an incredible striker. We all know that. We all know Jokeres. Look at the stats over the last few seasons at the various different clubs he's been on loan at. Sport and then Sport in Lisbon most recently. We know he can score. But if you play the same way and you can't allow and stretch defenses to the flanks, to the 8 positions, and allow Jokeres to have even a bit of space, he won't be able to score goals. Odegaard won't be able to create. I'm glad now we know, or it's looking increasingly likely that Waneri will be the backup to Odegaard in the 8, because sometimes, even though he's very technical, I feel like he's too slow to actually disrupt banks that sit in front of him, or people that are blocking his path or way forward to create or to move past someone in terms of take-ons. So I'm glad we have Waneri. That's a bit of a different option that can slot in there. He didn't come off the bench today against Tottenham, but I'm glad we have him as an option. But then you speak about on the left side, there is no option. We overlap on the right really well. Ben White does well to overlap. Today he made a couple of balls that he cuts back to the edge of the box. Odegaard, pillow foot shot, one of them today. Ben White does well to overlap. But on the left side, we don't overlap. Do we not see that? That would also help stretch defenses, or at least be a bit more unpredictable, rather than having Skelly invert every time and Martinelli having to try and beat his man for the 100th time. Why can we not allow Skelly to overlap and Martinelli to come inside? Or again, I really would be surprised. It's seeming more likely, but if Madueke is going to be left-footed playing on the left, it's not going to make sense for him to come inside. And clearly we don't want to have the overlap, which is just odd to me. For me, you overlap on both sides. It stretches the left and right back. You then allow the 8s to kind of cause issues for the centre backs on top of Jokeres. That triangle, once you have overlaps on the flanks, you then have a triangle between your striker and your 2 weights, basically sat in front of the centre backs, and you can try and disrupt where they think you're going to go. You can create runs for the 8s and try going behind and free up space for Jokeres. But we play the same rigid stuff every single time. And I don't know, let me know what you think. But if Arteta continues to play the same football, I don't know if he thinks it's 4th time the charm or whatever. You know, we've done a 3-peat of second places. You can buy all the players in the world, but if the tactics don't change, trust me, the defending in the league is good enough to stifle most teams. it is good enough to stifle most teams. So in my opinion, we need Eze and we need another class winger. We need both. Because if we don't get both, if you ask me personally, we're not touching first. That's just my personal opinion as of where we are today. And that's not to say the players aren't good enough. I don't think Arteta has a plan B enough. And from what we saw from when Gyökeres came on, when he came on, nothing changed tactically. There were no options to bring off the bench. And look, we know Eze's situation as of now. We know we want the player. We know Crystal Palace are asking for half of the money up front this year. They want the other half next year. We know we need to make sales to get that done. Let go, sell Fabio Vieira, sell Reece Nelson, sell Zinchenko. Get some money. Let's get him in quickly. Funnily enough, Reece Nelson was was one of the best wingers on the day today against Tottenham, and then obviously Max Dowman as well. He's obviously too young. So look, we know the changes. We know the changes we need to make. We know the changes we need to make, but in terms of sales, but I think we need to add someone to Eze. Otherwise, I think Gyökeres will even get found, not even found out is the word, but like these players that are really good, I think it is a good group. I think it's going to expose Arteta even more and put so much more pressure on himself this season if he does not find a way to be tactically diverse. But look, people, that's just my thoughts down below. Let me know what you think down below, whether Arteta's tactics, whether you think if we add in Eze, whether you think that is enough on top of the tactics we've been playing throughout the Asia tour, whether you think that's enough to go and actually challenge. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.